Well, hello. So it's been about a month since I started the experiment with the Lakhovsky coil and comparing some of my plants that grow with Lakhovsky coil against those without Lakhovsky coil that are growing in the same conditions, so we can objectively uh, cover them up and objectively tell that if Lakhovsky coil aids, helps the growth or not. And this is the end of the experiment. It's been a month. I took down data, the length of growth, and I'll show it to you at the end of this video. And before that, I'll go through all the batches of plants, and you can evaluate for yourself if Lakhovsky coil made any difference or not. And then I have to say that we are going into autumn. Oh, we are in autumn now. We're going into winter, and that means that temperatures drop down. It's about 15 degrees here on southern hemisphere, and in the night it drops down to about 5. It's still nice sunny days, plenty of sun, and quite a lot of rain. Humidity is fine, very pleasant environment, but some plants like trees are dropping their leaves and turning leaves into all sorts of colors. Alright, so before I start showing you the batches, I want to tell you about the next experiment I'm going to do. Some of them perhaps know about Ken Wheeler and his experiments with magnetism, and recently he came up with a claim that if you stick a magnet under the plant with the south side going up, that it will grow much better than the plant without such magnets. And I'm going to do the experiment. So I ordered about 24 little magnets. These are N50, very strong magnets, and I stick them under the planters. So now that I have some of the avocados seedlings cracked and some of the rosemary plants rooted, I will be able to verify his claims. So if you are interested in the experiment, stay tuned, and in the next couple of days I'll post another video where I set up the experiment, and we can definitely know if magnets help growth or don't. Alright, so let's go to the batches of the plants and see how they performed with Lakhovsky coil. So here we had rosemaries. You can see clearly which have Lakhovsky coil and which don't. So some of the rosemaries rooted very nicely. Oh, sorry, this one didn't root at all with Lakhovsky coil. But let's have a look at this one, the Lakhovsky coil, and you can see some roots formed there. Whoop, come on, are you gonna focus? No, okay. So you can see one of the plants with Lakhovsky coil produced roots that were 12.5 centimeters long, but that was a bit of an outlier, so I don't think it should have been included in the experiment, because none of the other Lakhovsky coil produced roots that are anywhere that size. But I still put it in the spreadsheet. Okay, so here we go. Lakhovsky coil. This tub with seeds performed the worst, and it turned out to be actually to overtook the one that was in the middle at the beginning of the experiment. And this one here is much older seeds, about 1 month older than the other two. So these two are being compared. The one with Lakhovsky coil overtook in a vigor the other one, but not by much. It's not. It's just personal opinion. I can't say that they are they are 30% better. They're just slightly better. Okay, so this one with Lakhovsky Coil, on the other hand, are these three buckets that only had 5 seedlings in it each, and the one with Lakhovsky Coil actually ended up with only 2 seedlings in it. So something ate, or they rotted, or they just disappeared. These two, there's only one disappeared, and this one here, I think there are still five seedlings alive, but none of these are doing extremely well. Then we had dill seed sprouting here, and this dill, you can see some seeds that were sprouted, but most of them are dead and wasn't doing very well with Lakhovsky Coil in there. The one without Lakhovsky Coil, however, did slightly better, and you can see some of the much more vigorous sprouts, and one of the seeds is actually sticking out and it's still alive. So these ones, I have to say, the one without Lakhovsky Coil performed better than the one with Lakhovsky Coil, but it's not amazing either. There are just few more seeds sprouted compared to the other one. Then down here I was sprouting seeds, avocado seeds. So we have cracked seeds with Lakhovsky Coil, and there are 4 seeds that are cracked, and I also have 4 seeds that cracked in this one. Now there are a few more seeds. I threw it in because I had seeds, but at the beginning they had the same amount of seeds and only 4 seeds cracked in each. They cracked roughly the same time. The size of the crack is not much bigger with Lakhovsky Coil than the other, which is kind of disappointing. I was hoping that Lakhovsky Coil would be performing much better. So now I'll go outside and show you the rosemaries and how they're doing, and cacti as well. Okay, here are the rosemaries, and you can see clearly which have Lakhovsky Coil and which don't. So I'll go slowly and make your own evaluations if Lakhovsky Coil has more vigorous results than the ones without. Many rosemary started to grow side branches. There wasn't much growth to the height. Perhaps side branches should have been evaluated. But even side branches, it's not conclusive. I would say that they grow roughly the same. This last one I put Lakhovsky Coil because it was drying out. So this one is a mother to all the ones that I'm rooting in the garage, and with Lakhovsky Coil, which is part of the experiment. And after I cut off all the branches, it's starting drying out, but Lakhovsky Coil didn't really revive it or help it grow. So let's have a look at the cactuses now. Here we go, cactuses, and yeah, so you can have a look and see for yourself if they perform much better. Cactuses, if they have a slightly greenish top, it's a sign of growth. And I thought that the ones with Lakhovsky Coil halfway through the experiment have slightly greenish tops, but now 2 weeks later, it's hard to tell. Oh, not hard to tell, they don't. They are all uniformly green. So there was not much difference. Here, apple tree was with Lakhovsky Coil because it was dying. There was not much difference. And also I had two gooseberries that didn't perform that amazing, and I put Lakhovsky Coil because I was hoping for revival, and all the leaves actually fell off, and I believe the reason could be that we are in autumn. They just go dormant state, so I wouldn't say that Lakhovsky Coil had a negative effect, but no positive effect can be seen either. So let's have a look at the spreadsheet now. So I just quickly finished this video because the battery says that it's dying. So let's have a look at the subject, and you can see for yourself how they compared. So here we go, growth centimeters. It was at the beginning. Also, it was now at the end of the experiment. This is at the beginning of the experiment, and here is the change. And these are rosemaries. Here you can see rosemary growth. These are rosemaries outside. The ones at the beginning were rosemaries for the root. And here we have a cacti growth. So I put all the numbers together and put averages together. And here we can see that rosemary rooting had together, they had 20.5 centimeters altogether growth, so average growth was 513. However, there was one of the freaks at 12.5 centimeters long. So if we don't include that one and we put just average rate of growth, they would be kind of roughly same as the ones with no antenna. So this ant means no antenna, antenna means antenna. Here rosemary growing change, this is outside in the pots, and the growth there was with antenna was 3.3 centimeters on average. Oh, sorry, total growth overall, and 4 centimeters for those without antenna. And so this is average growth per plant, and here we see that no antenna actually won, but the measurements are not super precise, so I would say there was no real difference. Cactus growth, same thing, 3 centimeters overall change with antenna, 4.5 without antenna, but again I would say there wasn't much difference. It's roughly equal. So I better quickly finish this video before the battery runs out. Let me know what you think, and in your comments, and if I did something wrong, or what could be the reason for Lakhovsky Coil not performing as promised. And thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to see the next experiment with magnets. Alright, thanks. Bye bye.